Hello, you guys. It is Tuesday morning. That's how I feel right now. That little thing I just did is how I feel. Yeah, I am a little bit of a hot mess this morning. Hello. This is Koji. He just wants to participate. Yeah, Tuesday morning. What's happening? What's brewing behind the scenes? What is today? March 26th. Can you guys believe it's almost April? It is officially spring. Hello. And I am really excited about it. Just a couple, yesterday I did a bridal session yesterday, and it was like all the flowers. They just planted new flowers, and I'm like, every year in the winter time, I'm like, maybe it's not going to come alive again. Maybe I'm never going to see beautiful flowers again and things looking like, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Lush. So I am very excited about spring. Hello. I am coming off of a really busy last 4 days. And to be honest, it's almost like the last week. It was like the kickoff of spring. So we had spring break last week, which if you guys saw my live last week with Gray, he was hilarious. Actually with Ash too. Ash was in his high chair eating snacks the entire time, like barely made a peep. I think I heard his voice like once just be like, ah. And then Gray helped lead the live and taught everyone about how he makes his strawberry tea, and it was ridiculously adorable. I was so proud of him. I asked, my cousin messaged me later and she was like, oh, Gray did such a good job. And I said, yeah, did you see the look of fear that like came over my face a couple of times when he like grabbed the camera at one point and was like, his like look of, surprise and excitement over having control of the camera. So anyways, he did a really great job. And for anyone who didn't see it and didn't catch the replay, I'm actually working on a YouTube channel right now. I know, it sounds so official. And I'm gonna upload these videos so that you guys, if anyone wants to go back and watch older ones or refer back to different ones, then you'll be able to do that for life, which I know is so important. So yeah, so spring break was last week, and then I'm gonna start making my coffee because let's be real, I need it. And then I had a wedding on Friday at Vintage Villas. It was beautiful. And then I had a wedding on Saturday at Laguna Gloria. Amazing. Let me grab my water and my coffee grinds. I'm making a whole pot today because today I'm making a whole pot. So I had a wedding on Saturday at Laguna Gloria. The weather on Friday was amazing, and then, as all of you guys know, in Austin, the weather on Saturday was a little bit more challenging, especially with Laguna Gloria. So they did end up tenting everything, but it was still beautiful. It's actually a pretty tent. It looks great on their lawn. And it was actually a really good thing because it did start to sprinkle at a certain point, but it held up perfectly. We got to do the whole ceremony. There was no rain during the ceremony, and during the pre-ceremony portraits there was no rain, and then it just started to sprinkle just a little bit as everyone kind of sat down to their dinner, which no big deal, because everyone was safe under a tent. So worked out perfect. Carissa from Lovely Day Events did a beautiful job on their wedding, and Wild Poppy did their flowers. She did such a good job. It was just a really pretty day. So I'm really excited to share images. And then Friday too, Vintage Villas, super sweet couple that was just so in love. So I was very thankful for everything this weekend. And then on Sunday, I don't typically do work on Sundays. I'm usually actually so tired from working 10 to 12 hours the day before, but I did end up having a session this past Sunday, and did an engagement session with a cute couple, and that was a lot of fun. And then yesterday I drove to Galveston. All in the same day. Drove all the way there and all the way back, and the weather also was interesting yesterday, so it was perfect these pillowy, amazing clouds. By the time I got to Galveston, it was beautiful. And then these like storm clouds started to come in maybe in the last like 10, 15 minutes of the session. And then it was making some crazy noise on our like last spot that we were gonna take some pictures. And I was like, I think we should get inside. And literally like 5 minutes later, it started pouring down rain and I had to drive through that home. So that was kind of intense, but you know what? Thank you, Mother Nature, for holding off until after my session. So you'll never know by the pictures that it was heinously disgusting not that long afterwards. So, and driving. So it's 3.5 hours to Galveston from Austin. Really pretty venue, actually. I don't know if anyone has heard of the Bryan Museum in Galveston. Have you guys heard of it? It was gorgeous. Just this beautiful old building that's a museum, and then just the grounds were like this almost like secret garden, and then they had this beautiful like glass menagerie, or I don't even know how you say it, glass arboretum. Anyways, it was really pretty, so I was excited to see it since the wedding is going to be later in April 27th. So yeah, I was just excited to see it, and then I drove all the way home. And it was great. I don't know if you guys saw my stories, but I listened to some music. I had to take some music breaks. I was listening to the book Ask. Has anyone listened to the book or read the book Ask? Really great. Just talking about the way to ask for things and how to like best serve your audience, and how to make sure that what you're offering is truly what your audience needs. So it was great, but you know what? Late at night, at like 10:30 at night, I was not wanting to listen to any more audiobooks, so I just listened to music. So today I really wanted to talk about last week. Another busy thing that I did last week is did my giveaway, which was so exciting. Thank you for everyone who participated. It was kind of celebrating the launch of my new guide, which was my top 10 favorite apps. So what's kind of funny is I was thinking back to like the start of so I've been doing wedding photography for over 10 years now. And back when I started my business, I think there were smartphones, right? Let's see how old I get. There were, I'm pretty sure there were smartphones, but there definitely weren't apps, right? Like we didn't have, Facebook was still kind of used for personal, and it wasn't used for business yet, and Instagram was not even a thing yet. I don't think I'd even joined yet. So pretty long time ago. And the fact that as I continue my business to grow, like these apps keep getting better and better, and they keep helping to really streamline our life and our business and productivity. And although, I really try and keep a healthy separation. Oh, hi, honey. It's my husband who just came in the door. Say hi.
Hello.
I don't even know what I was saying. Oh, so the apps that really help to kind of, I really try and create healthy boundaries between me and my phone. Sometimes my phone will stay next to my bed if I need an alarm, but I put it on airplane mode, which my husband hates. And so just really, and I don't check it first thing in the morning. I really try and get my morning started doing different things, unless I'm doing my Headspace app. So again, utilizing apps that really help to add to my life and to create peace and planning and productivity. So today I really wanted to highlight a couple of my apps, because I was looking at the top 10 apps, and a lot of them actually help me to do Instagram, right? Which we're on Instagram right now. So I wanted to talk about those few with you. There's 3 of them on there. So really, one of the apps that I use really for personal is VSCO. So VSCO. I've also used their Lightroom presets as well, but VSCO is just basically an app for your phone that, kind of lightly processes your images. So it's just really simple. They have filters that I love, and from that filter, I've kind of adjusted it to how I like my images to look. And I really use it mostly for just my iPhone pictures. So any of those images that you guys saw from Ash when he was when I was doing my monthly pictures, which I kind of miss those. I should do one. He's gonna be 15 months. He was 15 months yesterday. So big. So yeah, although every month I would take a picture, and when Gray was younger, he's 4.5, I used like my actual camera and took pictures that way, and it was a little bit overwhelming, right? To know that for like personal work, I needed to also, I needed to, you know, like process those images, and it just got a little bit like just too much. I can't stay away. It just was a little bit too much. So I ended up using, iPhones have gotten a lot better these days, so I ended up getting the newest iPhone before Ash was born, and then I just was using my iPhone the whole time, and I loved it. It made it so much simpler. I also kind of like streamlined when I was taking those pictures to just be kind of like, not fussy about it, right? Like I don't need him to always be perfectly smiling at the camera, and I wanted it to really show his personality, and I was gonna spend 10 minutes on it, and then I was gonna move on. Right? I wasn't going to let my number one Enneagram perfectionism get in my way. So VSCO is really the app that I use for processing my personal images on my iPhone. Just to lighten, brighten, bump the shadows, clarity just a little bit sometimes. And what you can kind of do in VSCO is really refer back to older images that you've processed, and you can copy the actual exact changes that you made to that image. So kind of like your own preset or your own filter that you've done, you can keep copying, pasting it. So, you know, kind of have like different things. Like if I'm in my beautiful light spot at my house, I know that the lighting is going to be pretty consistent. So if I'm doing another picture here, I'll just refer back to an image in that same location with the same light, copy that and paste it onto that image, and it makes it super quick and simple. If I'm, you know, if it's nighttime and the image has got, you know, just regular lights from the interior of your house with your tungsten lights, so I have, you know, I'll just refer back to an image that has that same lighting setup and then copy and paste it on the image. So you can do just minor adjustments from there. So I really like that. So you'll see me using any iPhone images taken with my phone that are in Instagram stories or something like that. I don't typically put iPhone photos in my feed, but I will put them in my stories. And I do sometimes touch them up a little bit, or sometimes I just let them be what they are. So I'm so ready for this cup of coffee. Let me pour. So again, I'm doing my pour over and my K-Mix today so I can have extra. The next app I was going to talk about that I highlighted in my guide. Oh, and if you guys haven't already, the guide is linked in my bio in my Instagram profile. Just click on it and you can just, download the app or download the guide, which is just really fun. I think the reason why I did this is people were asking me about my favorite apps that I use, and I do refer a lot to like, oh, this app helped me do this, or this app helped me do this, and people were really asking like, hey, like I want to be able to refer back to that, or, you know, actually see it all laid out. I'm gonna put collagen in my coffee today. I haven't done collagen this morning, so it just makes it a little bit creamier too, and a little bit more like a meal. So yeah. What was I saying? I'm just gonna do that. I have no idea what I was saying. Califia creamer. I tried to get their unsweetened vanilla. Need that tiny bit of sugar. Not terrible. Terrible. No judgment. I'm not judging myself. Of course, I put my MCT oil because it's the best. And then I'm gonna. I got my 4-year-old just like running around like, I'm doing your coffee, mommy. Okay, so the next, I was talking about the guide. So the guide is in the link in my bio. So just go ahead to there and download it. And it's just fun. I want to hear which ones that you guys actually downloaded. It was actually an interesting app that most people have said that they downloaded. Which I just love to know which one really spoke to you, which one is really fulfilling your needs. So please download it and please tell me which ones you end up using, because All of them have really helped change my business and have helped me to be more productive and strategic. So I love them all. So the second one I'm going to do, so Visco is really the first one, that for more like personal iPhone photos that I also use in my Instagram stories. And then WordSwag is another life-changing app. I can't remember who told me about it. I think it was Beth from 36 Street Events. Shout out. She told me about WordSwag. When I saw her use it in her Instagram stories, I was like, please tell me what you're using for that, because your Instagram stories, your images look so beautiful. So I ended up downloading it and have loved it as well. And I wrote a blog post about this last week, so go ahead and head over to my blog if you want to see some examples of images that I've done in WordSwag. I mean, if you guys actually saw my What's Brewing Behind the Scenes tip this morning, you would have seen like what I did in WordSwag. So it's just a really easy way to add typography to your images. Super simple, but really high quality, and it just really takes your like Instagram stories to the next level. So I love it. I don't always use it for like every image, or for, I typically add some kind of more conversational text and stuff on there, like actually in the Instagram app, to not make everything so perfect. We're not about perfection here, but it is a really beautiful way to create easy images with beautiful type on top of it. So like, yeah, I could go in InDesign, or I could go in Photoshop and do the same thing, but oh my gosh, that would take so long. Does anybody else have any other apps that they love for doing typography, or any other apps that they love in general? So WordSwag has really helped to do. I'm totally gonna just sit at my table. You guys are gonna judge me, right? I'm just gonna lounge on my table today. Okay, so the final app that I wanted to talk about for what helps me with Instagram is Planoly. So Planoly has literally, I know I said this about maybe all three of these apps, but because every one of the apps that I highlighted in this guide I use them on almost a daily basis. But Planoly is for actually planning out my Instagram grid and even auto posting if I want to. So, pre-writing my captions, being able to tag users in it, being able to hashtag, being able to add your location, which if anyone, if you're not adding locations to your caption, to your feed images, you need to immediately, and I think it's even helpful in your Instagram stories. I think that Instagram just likes it when you tag the location of images. And then obviously adding those users, tagging as many people as you can in your images, is really helpful for, having more people find your, being able to see your image, and maybe they can even repost it if if you're tagging your coordinator that was in an image, or the florist if you're doing the flowers that the bride is holding. All of those, you make sure and tag all of the vendors that were at that wedding. And sometimes we can tend to, I'm even guilty of this in the beginning, I could tag everyone, and then as like the weeks go on, I start to like default to less tags. But really, the more people you tag, the more people are able to see it, and the more opportunities for people to share your images. And then obviously hashtags, I don't know about you guys, but I search hashtags all the time on Instagram for, if I wanted to look at images for Laguna Gloria wedding, you put hashtag Laguna Gloria wedding, and you're gonna find images that people have taken at Laguna Gloria wedding, and it's just so helpful. So being able to do all of that in Planoly is awesome. And so what this has allowed me to do, and there are definitely lots of apps for helping you to plan your grid for Instagram. So like Plan, I believe, is one with 2 N's. Jenna Kutcher talks about that one. Alana Liu talks about Unum. She really loves Unum. I think really you just have to download and try out several and see which one really calls to you. I tried several, and Planoly was just the one that kind of like worked the best for my brain. I felt like it was easy to write the captions, felt like it was easy to move around my grid. I could load as many images in there to like move them around and play with them. So, so what planning ahead has really allowed me to do is, at the beginning of the week on Mondays, I always call Monday my social media day, I will, I have 2 hours blocked out where It's literally my time to do Instagram, and I'm trying to actually add in planning out some Instagram stories, maybe not like to the T, but just kind of giving an overarching, like something that I want to talk about that day in my stories, to make sure that I'm storying every day, because I don't know about you guys, I love stories. They're my favorite thing. So I think that it's really kind of everyone that I've seen talking about Instagram and where Instagram is going is saying that Instagram stories are really important right now. So, hello. So using Planoly to do that has been really important for me. So I block out those 2 hours on Monday, and the first thing I do is I have a folder on my Dropbox that I just have tons of images that I love. You know, if I've done a session, I just drop in like my favorite 5 or 10 in there, and then crop them, because you can't auto post unless you've cropped appropriately for Instagram, which is like I think a 4 to 5, like an 8 by 10 ratio for your images. If I can think of the word. Oh, I'm not drinking because I'm talking too much. So making sure that they're all cropped accordingly, and then I'll upload just a bunch of images into Planoly and just kind of start moving it around. So thinking about your grid and how everything looks, thinking about variety when you're working on your grid, you know, a faraway image and a close-up image and a flat lay of something and a personal image, just kind of having a variety of images that you're using within that grid. I even kind of alternate kind of a light, dark, and then what else do I do? So really just moving all those images around, planning out my grid. I'm a huge perfectionist about it. I don't know about you guys, but I just want it to be perfect. So I work really hard to do that and give myself the time to do that, schedule in the time to do that, so that, you know, when I'm going to post, whether I have a caption that I've already written or I'm writing a fresh caption that day, just really having that image already in there that I know looks great in my grid, really kind of frees up my mind to worry more about my message and making sure that I'm saying something that is worthy of people's time, and my overarching business goals and messages. If that makes sense. So yeah, Planoly has allowed me to do all of that. So kind of plan out the grid, and then really, you know, starting to write your captions, really thinking about your overall goals, thinking about your branded stories that you love to talk about. You know, being able to plan your captions beforehand is also really helpful, because number one, there are days when I can write captions super easily. They just like flow from my being. And then there are days when I literally cannot think of a word to write in my caption. Is anybody with me? It's so frustrating sometimes when I just can't get it out. And that's when you just kind of have to like walk away from it and then come back when you're in a different space and when you're able to kind of write more freely. And two, I listened to a recent Jenna Kutcher, and you know, I know this, but she said it recently in a podcast. She just did one on Instagram, and really reiterating the fact that we, you know, putting a call to action in each of your posts to really engage, right? Because Instagram's all about stories and about talking and about engaging with people, and yeah, really being intentional about all of that, and being intentional about creating a conversation and not just speaking into the, you know, into the void, but speaking to each person that is reading that caption and that picture, and yeah, making it worthy of their time. So I hope this was helpful. Those are just 3 of the apps that I kind of highlighted in my guide for Instagram specifically. I have other ones for Pinterest that I use, ones that I use for kind of my accounting or for tax purposes. So yeah. Oh, I also put when to post. When to post is another app for Instagram where you actually can see the best time to post to your Instagram. So obviously you guys see that my Instagram is really important, and being able to streamline what I'm doing with Instagram so that I'm not spending all of my time on Instagram is important. And then using all of that through other social media channels and other marketing as well. So yeah, so those are just some of the fun apps that I have highlighted in this guide. Please download it. I want to hear your thoughts.
go back to the blog post on my blog, juliewilhite.com/blog, and check out where I highlighted a little bit more about word swag and some tips for how to use word swag well. And let me know what you think. What do you guys have going on this week? It's already Tuesday. I feel like number one, I feel like this is Monday, since Monday wasn't really Monday. And yeah, I need a Sunday on my Tuesday. Anyways, I hope you guys are doing well. It was so great to chat with you today, and please shoot me any questions or feedback that you have. I'd love to hear from you, and yeah, hope you have a beautiful day.